Welcome back to CFB Nation. I am your host, Nino Brown. And once again, it's been a little bit, but me and my guy are back, reunited for a new episode of Devy. And when you see us on the screen, you already know the deal. Dino, how we doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Like you said, it's been a minute, but we're back. I'm excited. Football's just right around the corner, so
We're getting there. It's creeping. It's
so
it's
close.
creeping. The guys have been putting out like ridiculous amount of content, covering literally everything. If college football sneezes, Moon and KT have been on it. So kudos to them two guys. We're gonna talk about a guy like everybody was on the Martin Hampton train this year. Was he RB1? Was he not RB1? Is he the guy? Um, so now they're gonna replace that, right? And they may have got a guy in the portal that could be the dude, but I got a funny feeling, and I think you do too, that somebody was already in house and decided to stay. And Belichick coming over might have been the reason why he stayed as well. But I think that, UNC running back Davion Gause is going to be the next, maybe star running back, but the next RB1 for the Tar Heels. 5'11, 215 pounds, kind of like, that typical three down back that we like to see, right? Out of Opelika, Florida. Went to, I'm going to mess this up, Chaminade Madonna High School. The Lions out there, we know who them. They were dominant for 3 years. He was a teammate of Jeremiah Smith, right? He was RB42, a 4-star recruit, which is crazy, because, what I read when I said everybody kind of, I don't know if he could be the guy, but when I watched the film, and when you watch the film, I see differently. But, the
Hmm.
rankings, we've already had that discussion before, right? But apparently the Under Armour, they liked him, right? Because he was in the Under Armour game, All-American game. He's a 4-year letterman, Max Prep All-American, Broward County Offensive Player of the Year, two-sport athlete, played football, track. He ran relay, 4x100-meter relay. Shout out to our guy, Michael Anthony, one half Dynasty Dogs in the building, my guy. Uh, this kid, he's a dude, top 500 overall. Talk to me about his time over there because this kid just kind of ripped it off. Like he was it wasn't just Jeremiah Smith, all right, for the Lions. He was an integral part of this offense and why they went 13-0 in the senior year to win the title.
Yeah. So at Chaminade Madonna, like I said, 4-year letterman, which state of Florida, freshman getting on the field, he's got to be a
Exactly.
stud. Um, he had 81 attempts, 762 yards, 6 touchdowns as a freshman, 14-year-old kid. That's pretty crazy. Sophomore exploded, 262 attempts for almost 1,900 yards, 17 touchdowns. He had 10 100-yard games. Junior year, 165 attempts, almost 1,300 yards, 19 touchdowns. He had 4 100-yard games. His senior year, 87 attempts, just over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4 100-yard games. And for the cherry on top, he had 20 receptions for 263 yards and 2 touchdowns over his 4 years.
You know, I just scratched my head like you did when I opened up the show. RB42, the kid was like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he played with Jeremiah Smith, so blah, blah. Maybe it worked hand in hand. Maybe Jeremiah Smith was able to get one-on-one coverage or beat the easy
Mhm.
coverage because they had to stack the box for
Play
this kid.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, but they 30 plus offers from SEC, P4 schools all over the place. Yeah, this kid was ranked, out of the top 40 in the class. I mean, I bet you if we pulled up the top 40 list of the RB guys, then we were like, oh yeah, you'd have been like, how are those kids above Davion guys? It's just mind blowing. A&M, Miami, Florida, my Eagles, and they tried. They made a knock at the door. That was about as far as that got. Michigan, Oregon, South Carolina, Utah, FIU, UNC obviously won. They ended up committing March 6, 2023. This kid, like everybody wanted him. He went to UNC and he stayed throughout the portal. Speaks volumes, Dino. He thinks somebody told him that he might have an opportunity to be that dude, right? What did you see when you looked at the film? Because, man, I don't think enough people are watching this kid.
Yeah. So immediately I saw good pad level. With good vision, finds the holes, hits the hole with good burst. He's not going to be super electric speed wise, but he's got that football speed, that makes him fast enough to get to the edge. And with that, he's always moving forward, constantly falling forward. We saw it versus Virginia, pushing the piles, getting those extra yards, kept the legs churning. We have it in our notes that he's a boxer. He plays physical. He delivers the body blows. He's not afraid of a little bit of contact. And there's some plays where it looks like he's actually looking for the contact just to deliver that punishment
Yeah.
and fall for it. So those were some of the things that I noticed.
Yeah, like listen, my comps for like you were saying, delivering the body, but there's one of those guys I'm gonna get to, like, kind of just instantly. I was like, oh, that's a guy. Like, and he would fit that role on that team just as well if he gets to get that role to play on Sundays. But one cut and uphill. Like, I feel like this guy's not out there trying to do 1,000 things, right? He's not trying to, and no wasted movements, right? Like we like to say. Shout out to my guy, Mike. He loves saying it. No wasted movement. Boom. He puts his foot in the ground and he's up. Whether you're in his way, whether the lane's open, he's doing it. He can get small and he delivers that shoulder. Like, this dude delivers the boom, like we mentioned. Athletic. I mean, if you watch the game against Charlotte, dude, damn, cleared the guy. Leaped right over the guy, knowing that the contact was coming, landed it well. You can see that there's athletic ability there. He's a patient runner, right? He doesn't like try to hit the hole before the play develops. I've seen him be very, very successful in multiple draws and counters where they're just waiting RPUs. And not to mention 2 different quarterbacks that he had to deal with last year at UNC with different types of, delivering the ball. They ran that RPO type offense over there in North Carolina last year. So he's patient, let everything set up. Like, he can sell the delay in the counter. Yeah. And he didn't need to catch the ball in high school because they had him, the dude. So there was no, we'll just throw him the ball. He didn't need to. You had Jeremiah Smith and other guys out there. But in a small sample size that we've seen, he has good hands, right? I saw a catch against James Madison. I'm talking toe tapped, looked it down, saw the sideline, brought the thing in. You tell me a guy that's not really, they want to say hands friendly, or didn't put up the numbers that we like to see, coming out of high school. He looked like he was ready to go, and he looked like he understands the game and how to play, being that receiving back. I think he could be a 3-down back for the simple fact that he's good in pass pro. 20. I think he was in the game for about 80 times when they threw the ball, but 20 to 25 of that was when he needed to pass pro. Only gave up 2 pressures. QB didn't get hit, just a little bit of pressure. We had to move around the pocket. We also saw in the intro, my guy's a special teamer, right? Picked up that block punt, ran that to the cribbo. So this kid's going to find a way to be on the field. It doesn't matter what you do. I think between what you saw and I saw, a lot of boxes are getting checked here just from what we see. Now I think it's time to just get that opportunity. Saw a little sample size at UNC for the Tar Heels last season. Again, behind the dude that was, arguably RB1 in the class. And some of these things that we're going to talk about here, eye-popping.
Yeah. So freshman year at UNC, he had 67 attempts, 326 yards, 4 touchdowns. So if we break that down, that's almost 5 yards per carry. Sits at about 4.9 and some change. He had about 240 yards of yak. Which if you break that down per attempt, again, it's a little over 3.5. So, I mean, you're getting almost 4 yards per carry with him, no matter what, which is crazy. He had 17 first downs, 13 missed tackles, 12 10-plus yard runs. He had a breakaway percentage of 38. And like you said, kind of a small sample size, but he did have 4 receptions for 45 yards. So again, just shows that he could be used in any sort of way.
Except when called upon in that Charlotte game, they were up big, and they gave him the ball, and he no penalties, no pressures. Dude was just churning, moving along, continue to add yards. Look at 17 first downs and 67 attempts. Quick, that's 20 plus. That's a 20 plus percentage that he's getting a first down, right? So it's like, I'll take those odds when you get a guy in. So every 4 times he touches the ball, first down. Yeah, cool. I'm with that all day. Again, the missed tackles, 13 missed tackles forced. He's not really going to force them because he runs through them. That's what he wants to do. He's not going to shake him out. So he may get wrapped up, but he's still going to get a yard or 2, and then they're going to bring him down. So, like, there's no brick wall in this guy. Every time I saw him, I always seen him going forward. I want to say it was minimal negative plays for him in the backfield. may not have that breakaway speed, right? Like he's not going to take the top off the ball, right? If it comes out of the hole and you're probably going to catch up to him. But I'll take the 10 plus, 12 runs of 10 plus yards for a guy that doesn't have that quote unquote, breakaway speed. I think if this kid gets the opportunity, which we're going to talk about in a minute, you just compound the numbers. I hate to do it. They say, oh, well, if you take this over, a 16 game span and 20, you watch what he did, right? And you can see that he can be the dude when they asked upon him. There was a couple of weeks, Florida State week, he had like 7 or 8 carries, just churning them out, 5 yards per carry. Even against Boston College, explosive. He only had like 6 attempts, but it was like, again, 6 yards per carry, a couple missed tackles in that one as well. When you give him the ball, he produces. I think if you get this guy to 175, 200 attempts this year, I think the numbers might be something that you might like to see going forward. And in this room, my guy, opportunity is a knock. Yes, Benjamin Hall, okay, the ex-Wolverine is in. But in 2 seasons over there, he's barely cracked 150 yards, and he's got 4 receptions over 2 seasons. Yes, you had guys there, but Donovan Edmonds wasn't like running away with anything for the Wolverines. You know what I mean? It's like when Corum left, Donovan Edmonds was kind of hit or miss. Dr. Jekyll Hyde. There was games he was good. There was games he was kind of useless. Khalil Mullins stepped in, but there was an opportunity for Benjamin Hall to get some carries, and he kind of never really just seized the moment. Caleb Hood has been there for 4 years, and he's almost ellipsed 500 yards, and he's smelled pay dirt twice. So I think he might be a depth piece, in my eyes. Benjamin Hall, I think, is the top competition for him. But I wouldn't sleep on Charleston French because the guy's put almost 6,000 yards in a high school career, 70 touchdowns for Armory High School. He came from Itawamba Community College in 23. He didn't see any action for the Tar Heels last year because obviously he was behind Hampton, behind Gause. But when he was at Itawamba Community College, he had almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. He was the 4th best running back in that conference, in the nation. I'm just saying for that community college. So it was like, dude, I look at what's there for experience. I think Gause has the most experience. I think he has better qualities for what I like. And for the they have some phenoms, quote unquote, coming in, a couple 3-stars, Demon June, J.R. Cobb, and Joseph Trope. But this doesn't scare me if I'm a Davion Gause guy, like that he can't win this RB1 role here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna just real quick shout out Demon June, Jacksonville, North Carolina, military guys. If you know, you know. I would say Charleston French is probably the guy that I would say actually pushes him more than Benjamin Hall. If you watch any of his tape, dude's kind of electric. Like,
yeah,
he can get it done in the passing game, the running game. Like you said, almost 6,000 yards and 70 touchdowns in high school. I mean, that's nothing to scoff your nose at. But I mean, Caleb Hood, I think he's just a depth piece at this point. Benjamin Hall is, he's been buried behind some guys, but I don't think. I hate to talk negative, but I don't think he really is the competition that French is.
Granted, coming out of spring, the talk was about any specific player. It was more so about Bill Belichick and his other, endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't hear anything about Benjamin Hall running away or even seizing any moments in the running back room, right? We didn't hear much about Davion Gause either, but they might be keeping that under wraps as well. So I'm just saying, we didn't hear anybody being that guy on offense. So I think the opportunity is there. Now, do I think he's going to be a top 5 running back in the country? Not right now. There's nothing that I've seen says that he should be. What I see, and it just happens to be that these guys are both undrafted guys that went on to the next level. But I see, for me, a lot of Gus Edwards in this game, right? Like, out of Rutgers, right? He ended up playing in Baltimore in this last season for the Chargers. But this guy, 160 attempts, 713 yards, 6 touchdowns. That was his senior year. That got him to the NFL. And when the NFL opportunity seized, he started for Baltimore for almost 2 years. He was a guy and carried them. The guy who puts his foot on the ground, makes one cut, kind of goes into the contact, can move the pile. I see a lot of that Gus Edwards. and Davion Gause's style of play. Edwards had a better, I think, hands attributes to him. Like he could be used more in the receiving game. But I also see maybe Edwards might be the ceiling floor, but however you want to play this. But a guy that kind of forgot about, I talked about in the green room. I think Miami's kind of kicking themselves in the butt for kind of letting this kid go because they signed him as UDFA. Chris Brooks played for Cal, played for BYU. A bruiser type back, but like wasn't gonna just take the top off the ball. But the guy always went forward, right? Could play he could play to the outside edge, had enough speed to get to the outside edge and win, but was an inside outside runner. At Cal over 3 years, he had 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns. But his senior year at BYU was kind of when people were like, "Whoa, all right, 130 attempts, 817 yards, 6 touchdowns." I think their style of play right now, for what I see, if he puts out that this year, that production, as these gentlemen did in their senior, I'm telling you, this kid's it's only going to keep stacking. And I think there's a chance we won't be talking about him playing on Sundays and being a guy that probably gets drafted instead of being a UDFA. What do you think about my comps? And then you can give me yours.
Yeah. Like I said in the green room, I hate to say it, but I forgot about Chris Brooks. But more that once we started talking to him, I like it. I love the Gus Edwards. The only knock yeah, he's going to be a sophomore, redshirt freshman.
Right.
He's got to put a little bit size on
Yeah.
to kind of fit that Gus Edwards because Edwards is just a bowling ball, and I think that's kind of what's kept him around in the league. But and Gus is he's kind of sneaky athletic. He's got really soft hands for a running back, so like he can also play in the pass game. So I really like that comp if he can fill out a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Puts on 5 to 10 pounds. I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What do you got?
So my first comp, I have Lamar Miller coming out of Miami. He was 4th round pick, 2012 in his career. 335 rushes for 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns. Reason I picked him, super good vision. I think he was underrated there. Was a really patient runner. And again, another back who had super soft hands that wasn't utilized as much at the beginning. With the Texans towards the end, he started getting a little bit more in the pass game.
Miami kind of showcased it a little bit too.
Yeah. And then this is my checks all the boxes comp, but watching the highlight, this was the first guy that came into my mind, and thinking about it too, his college coach fits under the Billy B coaching tree. That whole thing was Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram, a little smaller in stature than our guy here, but was a bowling ball himself. Yeah. Looked for the body blows when he was at Bama. Great vision. Again, wasn't the fastest guy, but he had the burst to get to the outside, especially in the SEC. Once he got out to the edge, like it was almost over there. Always turning the legs forward. Mm-hmm. And then we even saw it with the Ravens too. Could be run outside, could be run inside. Even at the next level, body blows. So again, but this would be literally every box is checked.
I mean, even Ingram played with the Saints for a while too, and he was a dog, at the latter end of his career. So I mean, I love it. It's like when we talk about the box style, it's like Mike Tyson Butterbeans. Like, these guys are just hit you with a haymaker and then keep coming, keep running. Like you could go at these guys with a Goldberg spear, and there's a good chance that you might get he's probably not going to go down. You know what I mean? He might just stand him up and then he's going to fall forward. It's like all that effort, and this guy still gets in the green somehow, some way. You know what I mean? That's what I saw when I watched Davion Gause. And again, yeah, a lot of his opportunities might have been against, worn down defenses or in garbage time. But I'm talking about what I saw at the high school level, what I'm seeing at the opportunity. You're putting up numbers, and 5 yards per carry, almost 4 yards per yards after contact per attempt. This is bowling balls. I've put up the gut, the gut is up because my man is doing bumper ball. You're just not getting it. It's a pinball. You're not getting him off the first up. Good luck. You better call your buddy and tell him, you're going to have to LOD, Legion of Doom, tag team style, because my guy needs going to take more than one guy to take him down. And in off season, in a weight room, under Now an NFL style regime with Bill Belichick and the coaching staffs that they're bringing in over there. My guy, he might hit the 220, 222 mark, coming out the gun week one. Watch out. If Davion Gause gets the RB1 role to start week one, I don't think this kid lets it up. I think we might be talking about him as a guy, especially because they're probably going to go with a first year, right? Freshman quarterback, I would assume. Brown's going to be the guy, right? Bryce Brown's going to be QB1 for them, I would assume, right? Because Ryan Brown, he hit the portal. He's going back to Purdue.
Gio Lopez?
Oh, Gio Lopez. I'm sorry. Yeah, Gio Lopez is the QB1. That's right.
Yeah.
Bryce Brown will be QB1 once
in a couple years.
Yeah, Gio leaves. So
yeah,
you got a mobile quarterback, right? It's going to be set up. They're going to have a linebacker spying on Gio. This kid's going to get some of these open lanes. Last year we saw with that RPO style when it was Connor Harrell in there or Chris Wall. He did well. Again, we saw that counter, that delay. He can sell that well. I think this kid's going to excel. I'm on the Davion Gause train. I think Dino is as well.
Absolutely.
Don't sleep. Get on the train. Get your ticket punched now. Get it at a discount rate if you can, because you could probably get this guy in Devy leagues real cheap. People are sleeping on him. He's not a big name, or nobody's really talking about him. Go look him up. Go watch some film. Davion Gause, the next Devy Dolan. I'm Nino Brown. That's my guy, Dino, and we out.